Picture this. You're sitting at a family gathering. The same people, the same table, the same dynamics you've tolerated for years. And then it happens again. Someone makes a joke at your expense. Everyone laughs. You force a smile. You play along. But inside, something breaks. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly. Like the final thread of a rope that's been fraying for years finally snaps. And in that moment, you realize something you've been avoiding your whole life. Your silence no longer feels peaceful. It feels painful. Your kindness no longer looks like strength. It looks like weakness. And your forgiveness? It stopped looking like grace. It now looks like permission. That's when the truth hits you like a freight train. Peace without boundaries is not peace at all. It's quiet suffering. It's slow self-destruction disguised as loyalty. It's dying a little bit every day and calling it love. Here's what nobody tells you. No matter how much you love someone, no matter how much history you share, no matter how many blood ties connect you, you must never let that love destroy your self-respect. Because the people who truly value you won't require you to lose yourself to keep them. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Think about that. If you allow toxic behavior to live inside your space, if you tolerate disrespect, manipulation, and control day after day, it will begin to shape your soul. Slowly, quietly, until one day you look in the mirror and don't recognize who you've become. So in this video, we're going deep. We're talking about 6 toxic behaviors you should never tolerate. Not from strangers, not from friends. And listen carefully, not even from family. Because strength is not about how much you can endure. It's not about being tough enough to take constant abuse. True strength is about what you refuse to allow. It's time to stop suffering in silence. It's time to stop calling tolerance love. Let's begin. Sorry for the interruption. If this resonated with you, please subscribe and comment your one subscribe. Give me motivation. Let's start. Behavior 1. Disrespect disguised as jokes. They mock your dreams. They belittle your efforts. They minimize your accomplishments. And when you finally gather the courage to confront them, they laugh. They wave you off. Relax, they say. It's just a joke. Why are you so sensitive? But here's what you need to understand. A joke that humiliates you isn't humor. It's disguised disrespect. And when you keep laughing along, when you force yourself to smile while your soul is screaming, you're not being easygoing. You're not being fun. You're teaching them that it's okay to disrespect you. You're showing them that your dignity has a price, and it's their approval. Think about it. You tell your family about a goal you're pursuing. Maybe it's a business idea. Maybe it's a creative project. Maybe it's a lifestyle change. And someone in the room smirks, makes a sarcastic comment. Everyone chuckles. And you laugh too. But your stomach drops. Your chest tightens. Because deep down, you know, this isn't love. This is belittlement. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." So here's what you do. Don't fight fire with fire. Don't match their mockery with anger. Don't explode. Don't defend yourself desperately. Instead, fight it with something they can't touch. Indifference. When someone jokes at your expense, remain calm. Look them in the eyes and say nothing. Your silence will say more than anger ever could. Because silence, when grounded in self-respect, becomes power. It becomes a wall they can't climb, a boundary they can't cross with laughter. And when you refuse to react, when you refuse to play the role they've written for you, something shifts. They feel it. You feel it. You're no longer the punchline. You're the person who refuses to participate. Behavior 2. Emotional manipulation. Manipulators are artists of guilt. They don't attack you directly. That's too obvious. Instead, they twist your care into control. They weaponize your empathy. They use your love against you like a knife. You'll hear things like, "I thought you cared about me. After all I've done for you, you've changed. You're not the person I raised. Family is supposed to stick together, but I guess I don't matter anymore." And suddenly, you're the villain. Suddenly, you're the one apologizing. Suddenly, you're questioning whether your boundaries are selfish, whether your feelings are valid, whether you're being ungrateful. But Stoicism teaches us something critical. You are responsible for your actions, not their emotions. Seneca said, We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Manipulators understand this instinctively. They don't operate in facts. They operate in your mind. They plant seeds of doubt, water them with guilt, and watch as you tear yourself apart trying to fix something that was never your fault. So here's the Stoic answer. Don't fight to be understood. Don't spend hours explaining your perspective to someone who's already decided you're wrong. Simply stand firm in your truth. Let your calmness frustrate their chaos. When they say, "You don't care about me," you don't need to prove otherwise. You don't need to list everything you've done. You simply say, "I do care, and I also respect myself." Both can be true, and then you stop. You don't explain further. You don't justify. You don't negotiate your worth. Because here's the truth. You don't owe anyone your emotional stability just because they've lost theirs. Behavior 3. Constant negativity. Energy is contagious. Walk into a room full of laughter, and you'll find yourself smiling. Spend time with someone who radiates peace, and you'll feel calm. But spend time with people who live in constant complaint, criticism, and chaos. You'll leave feeling drained, heavy, anxious, like someone just stole something vital from you. These are emotional vampires, people who feed on negativity. They don't want solutions. They don't want to grow. They don't want change. They want sympathy. They want witnesses to their suffering. They want you to stay small and stuck with them. Every conversation is a complaint. Every success story is met with skepticism. Every positive moment is dragged down. "Yeah, but" becomes their favorite phrase. And slowly, imperceptibly, their darkness starts to dim your light. A Stoic knows this. The mind must be guarded like a fortress. Epictetus taught. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Read that again. Whose presence calls forth your best. Not people who drain you. Not people who criticize you. Not people who make you feel guilty for wanting more, for growing, for choosing peace. Now, I'm not saying abandon people going through hard times. I'm not talking about friends or family facing genuine struggles who need temporary support. I'm talking about the people who've made negativity their identity. The people who refuse help but demand attention. The people who pull you into their darkness and resent you when you try to find light. You cannot build peace in the company of constant noise. And here's the hardest part. Sometimes these people are family. Sometimes they're the ones who raised you. Sometimes they're the ones you're supposed to love unconditionally. But loving them doesn't mean drowning with them. You don't have to argue. You don't have to fix them. You simply quietly step away. You can love people deeply and still love yourself enough to walk away. Protect your peace as if your life depends on it, because it does. The quality of your peace determines the quality of your mind, your decisions, your future. Behavior 4. Lack of accountability. There's a certain kind of person who never takes responsibility for anything. When they fail, it's always someone else's fault. When they hurt you, somehow you become the reason. When they lie, they rewrite history until you're the one who's confused. When you point out a pattern, they deflect, deny, or turn themselves into the victim. These people are dangerous, not because they're cruel, but because they drain your energy without remorse. They make you question your reality. They make you feel crazy for expecting basic respect. A Stoic never chases apologies. A Stoic observes patterns. Because here's the truth. If someone's behavior stays the same after your forgiveness, it means your forgiveness became their permission. Think about how many times you've said, "It's okay," when it wasn't. How many times you've accepted an insincere apology just to keep the peace. How many times you've given someone another chance, and they've used it to hurt you again in the exact same way. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." So here's what you do. Lead with integrity. Be the person who apologizes when wrong. Be the person who reflects and grows. Be the person who takes responsibility. But walk away from those who refuse to do the same. You can't fix people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You can't reason with people who rewrite every story to make themselves the hero. You can only remove yourself from their chaos and return to your calm. And let me be clear, this isn't about holding grudges. This isn't about punishing people. This is about recognizing that some people are committed to a version of reality where they're never at fault, and you cannot build a healthy relationship in that delusion. So stop explaining, stop defending, stop hoping they'll finally see the truth. Just step back and let their patterns speak for themselves. Behavior 5, envy and hidden competition. Some people smile at your success, but secretly resent it. They'll say congratulations, but you can feel the coldness behind it. They'll act supportive, but there's tension in their words, a subtle tone in their voice, the way their eyes dim when you shine, the way they change the subject when you share good news. Stoicism teaches discernment, not paranoia, but awareness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, and the thoughts of envious people are poisoned with comparison." They don't see your success as proof that success is possible. They see it as proof that they're failing. And instead of being inspired, they become bitter. You must understand this. Not everyone clapping for you is proud of you. Some people only clap to stay close enough to see you when you fall. They're not celebrating your rise. They're waiting for your collapse. They're gathering information. They're keeping tabs. And the moment you stumble, they'll be the first to whisper, "I knew it wouldn't last." Now, this doesn't mean you become paranoid or cynical. It means you become wise. You don't waste energy explaining yourself to people who are secretly hoping you fail. You don't dim your light to make them comfortable. You don't shrink your success to protect their ego. You keep moving, in silence if necessary. You protect your progress by staying humble, but not naive. Because those who envy your peace are often those who haven't found their own. And that's not your responsibility to fix. So let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them resent. While they're focused on you, you stay focused on your purpose. Behavior 6, disrespecting your boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls. They're not about shutting people out or being cold. Boundaries are the gates that protect your peace, your time, your mind, your energy. They're the lines that say, "This is where I end and you begin." And when someone repeatedly crosses those lines, that's not love. That's control. When you say no and someone keeps pushing, that's not care. That's entitlement. When you draw a boundary and they act offended, guilt trip you, or ignore it entirely, that's a sign. A clear sign that they don't respect you. They respect their access to you. Epictetus said, "No person is free who is not master of himself." To be your own master, you must stop explaining your boundaries to people who are committed to violating them. Here's what most people don't understand. You don't need to justify your boundaries. You don't need permission. You don't need agreement. "No" is a complete sentence. "I'm not available" doesn't require a detailed explanation. "I need space" doesn't need to be negotiated. But people who benefit from your lack of boundaries will make you feel guilty for having them. They'll call you selfish. They'll say you've changed. They'll accuse you of being cold, distant, or ungrateful. Let them. A Stoic doesn't shout their boundaries. A Stoic enforces them calmly. When you value your time, people start respecting it. When you value your energy, they stop draining it. And when you start walking away without anger, without explanation, without guilt, that's when you've truly mastered control. Not control over them, control over yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." That's what this entire video is about. Not rage, not revenge, not bitterness, calmness, awareness, and the quiet kind of power that doesn't need validation. Because here's the truth most people won't tell you. You will spend your entire life tolerating what drains your peace if you don't make a decision today to stop. You will keep explaining boundaries to people who are committed to violating them. You will keep forgiving people who never apologize. You will keep shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. And one day, you'll wake up exhausted, depleted, unrecognizable, and you'll wonder where you went. So don't tolerate what drains your peace. Not from strangers, not from friends, and not even from family. Don't explain your boundaries to people who refuse to respect them. Just enforce them, calmly, quietly, firmly. And don't apologize for evolving into someone who finally respects himself enough to say, enough. Because peace is not found in isolation. It's not about cutting everyone off and living alone on a mountain. Peace is found in inner discipline. And that discipline begins the moment you stop tolerating what no longer deserves a place in your life. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your soul just because they share your last name. You don't owe anyone your mental health just because they raised you. You don't owe anyone your future just because they were part of your past. What you owe yourself is protection, respect, peace. And if that makes you selfish in their eyes, so be it. The people who truly love you will understand. The people who truly value you will adjust. And the people who don't, they were never meant to stay. This is Stoicism and Stoic, where you learn the art of emotional control, masculine peace, and timeless Stoic power. If this message resonated, subscribe. Join the journey to become calm, grounded, and unshakably strong. Because the world needs more people who refuse to tolerate what destroys them. Be one of them.